Oh, it says auto lock, but that's not what I want. I want it to just not turn off.
Does it maybe bring you into like another menu from that?
I don't know.
Hey, Poochie. Get up from under the table. Come on. Come on. Out from the table. Come on, Poochie. Thank you, buddy.
Welcome to Good, Bad, Bad, Bad.
This is not the show you're looking for. Welcome to Three Wise Radio, podcast where we talk about TVs, video games, television.
Cassette players.
Cassette players. I think that would fall in our realm. Comic books, computers. I'm saying this really slow because I'm trying to think of really clever stuff, and it's not working. So,
You're right. It is not working.
we're the podcast where we talk about media stuff. I think that encapsulates us pretty much.
I think if you sat down in a boardroom and said, hey, what if we made a podcast and we say we talk media stuff, they'd be like, that's a really good angle to get people. I think people are really going to respond to that super broad subject.
Yeah.
Because that's what podcasting is all about, is about incredibly broad areas and not extremely specific things that will generate a really strong fan base.
Yeah.
Right.
Comics, cartoons, video games, TV, television, the internet, and pretty much everything else media related.
Yeah.
I'm Garret Welker. This is Sam Pixley.
That is me. This is me. I am me. We don't talk about cartoons a lot.
No, we don't.
I mean, the only cartoon I watch right now is Rick and Morty.
I mean, we had that anime talk.
Yeah.
Steve was on.
I got to follow up with that. But, yeah, I mean, I also just don't pull headlines for that. I guess because I'm not really looking. Maybe I should try.
I personally don't see a lot of, like, articles or headlines that are related to anything other than Rick and Morty.
Yeah, because that's kind of hit the mainstream, and I think it's, well, like, because you probably, like, big news about animated stuff is not really headline worthy.
Yeah.
Oh, they did just announce for Bob's Burgers fan they're going to make a
that.
movie in 2020, I think, is when it's supposed to come out. I've never gotten behind the Bob's Burger train, but I know people are really into it. I just can't listen to his voice.
It's John Benjamin's voice.
Yeah, it really throws me off.
Just because...
Yeah, just because I'm so locked in with Archer.
Yeah.
But I would assume if I actually put in minimal effort, I would get over that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a well-written show. I enjoy it. So
fair enough. Getting into, we got a lot of headlines and fun things going on, but we're gonna do a little trailer trash.
Okay.
It's because we had three huge trailers. That's not true. 2 big trailers and one that I just think is interesting. But let's start with the big one. Justice League came out with, I hope, their last trailer because this movie's coming out soon.
In a month.
Yes, just over a month. So we had yet another trailer where they kind of pinged it to a specific song. Mm-hmm. Garrett, you just watched it, so first impression?
It was good. It was good. I thought they were about to just kill their big reveal of like, oh, Superman's back. Which, I mean, like, everybody knows it's going to happen, but like...
Absolutely. They did a good job of not giving us the context in which he's coming back, other than I'm 87% positive that Batman straight grave robbed Superman and put him in like a healing something. I'm almost positive that that's what happened. And he's like, I did what I have to do. Like, if there's going to be a moment in this movie where Superman comes back, and like, if there's going to be the Batman moment, like Superman comes back and everybody's like, what happened? He's like, he took me out of my grave and put me in some kind of back to tank. And that's where you get the Batman moment of like, Bruce, why would you do that? I'm Batman. I'm just like, sometimes, guys, just so you know, I'm super into this Justice League thing, but sometimes I'm still going to do whatever I want to do.
For my greater good.
Yeah, for my greater good, which is the greater good of all, because I'm the smartest.
No, it was really good. I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the Flash moments, like of like his powers, seeing it kind of more in the wider scope of the combat setting.
He and Aquaman are going to be show stealers. I'm fairly certain. Everybody's into Wonder Woman, but I think those two, if he doesn't get too cringy as the Flash, I think they'll steal the show.
We'll see. I'm
But also, Aquaman is not Aquaman.
Oh no, it's Khal Drogo.
It's yes, it's just bro, whatever his name is, Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
I'm quite confident. He's supposed to be this. Aquaman is supposed to be this like almost like regal, but like
reserved,
but also very like angry too. Like he's got a lot of
Yeah.
pent up rage, but he also is very like stoic in that sense too.
I think stoic's a really good word for it.
But in this one, he's like, there's a lot of yeah, like he's flying through the air, yeah. He's riding on top of a car, yeah. Like he's chucking tomahawks or something, yeah. Like there's just
My man.
Yes, just a lot of that. And you know what? I don't think Batman's gonna enjoy it at all.
I'm okay with that, though.
I thought it looked good. I wasn't blown away by it, and it still looks like they need to do some work. I'm almost concerned that like whenever Steppenwolf does his master plan that apparently is going to turn the whole world red or whatever, it's too much red, and so it makes things look bad. Like there's a scene where Aquaman is like flying with Cyborg, and I think it just doesn't look up to snuff. But I think
Cyborg doesn't, or
I think Cyborg looks fine. I've accepted that he's going to look wonky, but the background and stuff doesn't look. It looks green screen because I think there's so much red that there's nothing else to like. It's just like oversaturated with it. But not a trailer that made my jaw drop, but I still am really excited for this movie.
it gave me what I needed to hold me over to the movie.
And I think we're getting on. I just watched Man of Steel again, and I think again I'm going to be really happy for if this plays out the way that I'm hoping it does. Really plays out for Snyder's vision of more Superman than anything else. Of that, Man of Steel. It was all about like you can inspire people to do great things, but people also recognizing that takes a little bit of time. Like, it's not going to be, okay, great, Man of Steel, you did it, you inspired everybody, awesome. It's like, you didn't do that in the first one. Like, you didn't quite get there yet. Like, you killed a guy, and people were still sussing you out. The second movie, like, it's kind of almost just rolls parallel with Jor-El's speech about it. It's like, yep, like, people are going to follow you, like, they're going to stumble, they're going to fall, but eventually they'll get to your level and help do great things. Like that second one was the struggle of everybody kind of coming to terms with who they should be and doing that kind of stuff. And this might be kind of that rebirth of hope. And I think that there's an analogy of that with like Batman's journey through the second and third movies. It might be me just digging a little too deep into it, or also just like using the background information that I have about these characters.
That's the best, though.
That's the arc that I'm seeing take form. And I think we could get a really good wrap up on that.
That'll be really cool.
Fingers crossed. We shall see. Another trailer we had, Pacific Rim, starring John Boyega as Baby Elba. And boy, is he trying his hardest to be as edgy as Idris Elba's. John Pentecost? Is that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah, John Pentecost.
That's a dope name.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
But what'd you think about that trailer?
It was good. It was nice to see a chase of kind of what they're going to go with it, but at the same time, it's kind of unclear on where they're going to go with it.
Yeah,
because they had the Jaegers, they had Jaeger versus Jaeger, they had Jaeger versus Monster or versus Kaiju. And it's what's going on here?
Yeah, so it all looked cool, and I loved Pacific Rim is such a good movie. This kind of felt. When I was watching this trailer, I couldn't help but do parallels, which I didn't do in the first one, but I couldn't help but draw parallels to Transformers.
Ooh.
With this of there's more melee weapons, there's more bad guys and good guys. We know swords are dope, right? So now we've got two swords, and this Jaeger has got a chain ball on his arm, and this Jaeger uses a whip, and because that was something that took shape in Transformers really quickly of melee is cooler than guns, so we're just going to do everybody's got some kind of secondary weapon that becomes their primary weapon because it looks cooler.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but see those. And then it also looked like one of the kaijus, a big one almost formed out of a couple other ones.
Yeah.
It looked like it also transformed into Destructicon or whatever it is, the little robot.
This is even my final form.
Yeah, it's It did seem kind of unclear, whereas the first movie was very basic and straightforward, and I respected that, how it was what it was and didn't try to be anything too deep or intense. What is this one going to do? What route are we going to take?
Yeah.
It was fun seeing like the two scientists, like Charlie Day, whoever the hell that guy really is. What's his name?
Charlie Day.
Is it Charlie Day?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. And then that other guy, the weird guy, that's kind of quirky and shakes. It was cool seeing them, and I'll just be interested to see how this world kind of has evolved over time.
Yeah.
Where's Charlie Hunnam?
Who knows?
Maybe it'll do the same fate as Will Smith in Independence Day, where like he was testing a new Jaeger, didn't work,
Died in combat.
Died, super dead. Not even in combat, in training.
I don't know. We'll see.
High hopes. High hopes.
What was that third trailer?
Third trailer was Jack Ryan, played by John Krasinski, in a 10-part Amazon Prime series.
10 parts. Okay.
I think it's something like that. Maybe it's not. Who knows? You watched it, sort of, as I was going over it earlier today. They gotta try really hard to not make him super lovable.
Maybe that's why they chose him, though.
To be super lovable?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the character of Jack Ryan. Every iteration I've seen of him with, like, Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise, wasn't, like, Chris Pine...
Yeah.
As at one time. It's always like been almost like a Jason Bourne sort of thing where it's like, I'm a badass.
But also an analyst.
Yeah.
I think that's what it... I'm not positive. I think that's what it's always been, is he was an analyst, but he's also extremely capable.
Okay. Maybe this is like I don't want to say a prequel, but like a year one.
The Birth of Ryan.
Yeah.
Played by John Krasinski.
Question mark?
Yeah. I mean, this just looks so generic. Like, and also the trailer, like, it didn't give me any idea of what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, there was a point where they showed, like, a video camera footage, and John Krasinski, Jack Ryan, was like, don't you think people would have wanted to know about this 20 years ago when the name Bin Laden came up? And I was like, know about what? Nothing's happened in this trailer. It's just guys with guns walking around. Nobody's done anything or said any plot, or somebody told him to get in a plane, and he was like, all right, fine. I'll go be a superhero.
I'm not a field agent. I'm an analyst.
Yeah.
Just get in the fucking plane, dude.
Said every field analyst turned super soldier ever.
Maybe that's what'll happen.
Yeah, duh. Like, obviously that's what's going to happen.
No, like they're going to inject him with super soldier serum.
Oh,
like,
perhaps. Or maybe he'll just be a really bad field agent and be like, stick to the desk. And then it turns into The Office. But Black Ops. Percent chance? High.
Let's make it happen.
Those are all the trailers that at least that I've thought of were important enough.
All right.
So getting into some more headlines. So what we've got an interesting, several multi-part stories.
All right.
The first part of most of these stories is only somewhat dumb, but the second part of each of these stories is very dumb. So let's get started, shall we? You ready for some Gambit news?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Some Gambit movie news, Garrett? You ready?
I'm always ready for that Gambit news.
As of now, director Gore Verbinski is in talks to helm Gambit. He did the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Okay.
Exciting?
I don't hate it.
But you don't care.
But I don't care. You're right. That's exactly right.
What if I told you that the villain is currently slated as Mr. Sinister?
Interesting.
What if I told you that currently being eyed for the role, Daniel Craig?
Odd.
Keep in mind, this is without a doubt. People are eyeing him for the role. He is not eyeing back at all. Like, this is an awkward bar moment where like a guy is staring at a chick and she is just like actively avoiding eye contact. Like, I'm not talking to this dude. I know I'm being eyed for Mr. Sinister. I'm not acknowledging. I'm not looking at. I just want to be here with my friends and hang out.
I feel like they could make something cool out of that, despite the fact that Gambit has never had any like serious interactions with Mr. Sinister. He's always been obsessed with, like, Sinister's always been either Wolverine or Scott and Jean.
Well, fan favorites versus fan favorites.
True. But I don't know. I feel like they could probably pull something interesting out of that hat. But Daniel Craig.
All of this news is just like a crap sandwich. Like, we're just pulling names out now. We're just like chucking shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. Keep in mind, this movie's not going to happen. But I'm glad that they've got their eye on Daniel Craig. Moving on. Oh, another big movie. You ready for this Bride of Frankenstein news?
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein has been delayed, sadly.
Damn.
Due to the rampant success of The Mummy, which actually did do well overseas.
Did it really?
Oh yeah, it made a really nice profit overseas. I think it got up to like 400 something million.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but it's still not enough to like really let them put all their juice in this universe. But it was delayed to 2020. However, Jolie and Bardem are both still attached for the key roles as the bride, and
Oh, I didn't know Angelina Jolie was.
she's like quasi-attached.
Okay.
Ready for the...
Okay.
Does this excite you? Make you happy? None of this is going to truly excite you.
I'm piqued.
Interest is piqued?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Follow-up story. The current director is reportedly hoping for Gal Gadot for the lead when Jolie exits.
When she exits. we already know it's gonna happen. We're putting all our chips in Plan B there.
Yep. I was like, nope, they're still attached, all is well, but just saying, if they drop out, I already know who I want to be my second.
I mean, I guess that's good that you have a backup plan.
Oh, you should always
have a contingency plan.
Always
something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that's something you should announce to the public, though.
I mean,
I feel like that's not a smart move.
of course not.
God.
I mean,
God.
I'm sure she'd do great.
Oh, she would definitely do great, but it's just like, I don't think you should announce to the public, like, hey, our movie might be kind of rocky right now. It might be really rocky right now.
It's wildly.
We're probably on the verge of losing one of our leads right now.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Ready for some Fast and Furious news?
No.
But it's all good news.
All right.
Unfortunately, Fast and Furious has been pushed to 2020
Darn.
because the Hobbs Jason Statham spinoff has officially taken the 2019 spot.
Oh shit.
Whatever Statham's name in that is, I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
He's Luke Evans' brother.
Yep.
I can't remember his name either. Sean Hobbs. So they're set. That it is officially set for 2019, which is, I guess it's not a quick turnaround. You got like 2 years to put it together. But
yeah,
I mean, I like the idea of that movie.
I didn't see that.
I thought they did really well.
I haven't seen anything past 3.
Oh, I always forget that. Yeah. So it's good news.
I feel like they could pull together and carry a movie together.
I think you're also getting the franchise. It's still making so much money, but you have to start thinking like outside the box.
Yeah.
Just to try something different and see if there's any way you can get some juice some other way.
Yeah.
You know who's not happy about it?
Vin Diesel?
No.
Oh.
No, Vin Diesel is stoically silent. Tyrese.
Really?
Tyrese Gibson, not happy about it at all. Keep in mind, a post that he made back in September when this was apparently like in talks.
Uh-huh.
I guess dreams do come true. This is an Instagram post or something along those lines. I guess dreams do come true. Congratulations to whoever the guy that's helping him with it and The Rock. You guys are just amazing. You really broke up the Fast family. I tried to warn you guys. You thought I was hating. I was simply fighting to keep the family together. What makes us great is when you see us all together. We don't fly solo. I got 3 years of venting on this clown. They offered, but you didn't have to agree with a solo Hobbs movie.
Wow.
And after the news came out, he just retweeted, congratulations to The Rock and your brother-in-law, a.k.a. $7 producing partner H.H. Garcia for making the Fast and Furious franchise about capital Y-O-U. This, paired with the Michelle Rodriguez thing of essentially holding her role hostage unless there's more female interaction with each other in the Fast franchise, does not bode well for this system.
No. And I mean, I've always, I don't want to say always, I've frequently said that they're just going to go to 10 and that's going to be it. 10's going to be the last one.
That's what they're saying.
And
This is either a situation of A, Paul Walker truly was the heart of this, like now that he's gone, everything's just terrible. Or B, this is kind of like an inbred family where like they just like the first couple of go-arounds, the first couple of generations aren't that messed up, and now that they're in like the 8th iteration, like things are starting to come out a little weird. Like things are starting to really get murky, and people are starting to like kind of infight. And
Now, is Tyrese mad because he's tearing up the family, or is he mad because he doesn't get a spinoff?
probably that one.
And he was in the series
I don't know, it
first.
just feels like tensions are high for no reason. Like, you're an incredibly successful franchise. Like, you've made a ton of money. You're not going to get cast as Green Lantern. It's fine. Relax. So it just seems like there's really high tensions, and people are getting upset about enough stuff that I don't know how these people are expecting to work together.
Yeah.
For like a 3-4 month shoot. Just sounds sloppy.
We'll see.
Alrighty. So those are our big 3 group headlines. Those are our big group headlines. But I've got some other stuff. This I wanted your opinion on. Not so concerned as to who was cast, but that the character was cast. Brontis Jodorowsky has been cast as Nicholas Flamel in the next Harry Potter movie. And by Harry Potter movie, I mean not Harry Potter, but Fantastic Harry Potter. Beasts. Sure.
I mean, I'm okay with that casting. I don't know what role because this is all like uncharted territory. Like I don't know, like I don't have enough input on my end to be like, oh, that's not my Nicholas Flamel sort of thing, you know?
Right. I guess my concern is, are we doing exactly what they said they weren't going to do? And we're getting like, remember the 20 key characters from all of the Harry Potter, like
the entire franchise,
from all the books, all of the lore that was utilized in all of the 7 books. Well, guess what? All these characters were actually in big cahoots, like the fucking Illuminati of wizardry, and put together this kind of like world before the Harry Potter thing happened.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of see taking place here.
We'll see.
Does that bother you?
I mean, yeah, it does. It bothers me, but at the same time, I'm not like up in arms about it right now.
Okay.
So
just a concern.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will see how it plays out. All right. Are you excited for Thor the Ragnarok?
Yes.
Good. So is Idris Elba, which is good because apparently he did not care for the other 2.
I would say, wasn't he like one of the if I remember seeing a list one time and it was like all these actors used to worked with Marvel and they either hated it or like are never going to work with them again. And he was on the list and he's like, I fucking hated playing Heimdall, sort of thing.
Yep. Just in an interview, just text was recorded as saying, I like that I have a... Also, listen to these 2 contradictory statements.
Okay.
I like that I have a little part in Thor. I'm neither movie star or day player. It allows me to do other things that I love. The last one, Ragnarok, was fun. The others weren't fun. They're work. But on this one, Taki, the director, was great.
Okay.
I guess that's fair. I mean, just to openly be like, they weren't fun to do. Like, I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. I mean, it is your job, so it is your right to say that. Following up after saying that I really like my little part in Thor because I'm not the big player, it lets me do other things. I wish I was more present in the Marvel family. I like what I have, but I also wish that I was a bigger character. It's been great, but I kind of need a bit more. I want to be a superhero. I like the idea of that.
James Bond.
He's a superhero. You can't say in the same interview, I'm really happy with my small part. It lets me do other things that I love. But I wish I was a superhero. That'd be great.
I mean, I feel like you can. You can be like, you know, like it's kind of like I'm grateful for this, but like if I could have more, that'd be cool.
But you also said that you're happy you don't.
I don't know.
Feels like this guy wants his cake and eat it too. Which
Well,
is a ridiculous expression.
Yeah, it is a ridiculous expression. It's my fucking cake. If it's my cake, I'm going to eat it.
Right, but then you don't have it.
Yeah, because I already ate it.
Right, but then you can't have your cake and eat it. Because if you eat it, then you don't have it.
What else am I gonna do with it?
Have it.
It's gonna go bad.
I mean, again, I said it's not a good saying.
I know.
Unless there's like something about that saying that I don't get, that I'm just like wildly missing out on. I never understood it either.
I don't know.
Because it's finite. Like, it will go bad.
Yeah.
I get it with money. Is like you can't save your money and spend it too. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
But cake and things that are going to go bad anyways, like, the analogy just doesn't hold up.
yeah. Welcome to Three Wise, where we break down sayings and if they're good or bad. All right, moving on. Michael B. Jordan is joining another superhero property.
Interesting.
He's going to co-star and produce in a 10-episode Netflix series entitled Raising Dion. Now, this was based off a short. It's not related to DC or Marvel. It's his own thing. And essentially what this does, it takes a look at a superhero's journey as a child from the point of view of the parents. So it's essentially think of the Spider-Man story from Aunt May's perspective, or more realistically, Ma Kent's perspective for Superman. Being aware that your child has these abilities and trying to teach them to be just not even that, but just to teach them to be a good person. To have essentially a child where if you do go down the wrong path and you don't teach them good values and good morals, it could be devastating.
Yeah.
Just kind of going through like that idea.
Okay.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting if I don't know if he's playing the father, or he's a little old now to be playing a child.
Yeah.
He's like 30-something years old, I think. Like,
who else is tied to the project right now?
No one currently that we know of, or at least that I was able to Google. So, but no, I think that's interesting. It's a different perspective to look at things, and I like that it's not attached because it gives you some flexibility.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I'm on board. Be interested to see a trailer.
Is that going to be on like a Fox, or is that just kind of like still
Netflix?
okay.
Netflix. Let's see. Oh, don't you love when like a celebrity or something is like, oops, I accidentally released information that clearly I was told to release.
Yeah.
Which happens, I think, all the time in the Marvel universe. Well, crazy Mark Ruffalo. Did you watch his Facebook Live?
No.
Oh, crazy Mark Ruffalo. He went and got on Facebook Live. He was in an auditorium with, apparently it looked like all of the Avengers, like everybody from all the Marvel movies were like standing on essentially like a high school, like class of 2000 whatever podium, like taking their pictures. And he's like, hey guys, just here with all the Avengers. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. And then he starts panning around at people, and people are like, whoa, Mark, what you doing? And then Samuel L. Jackson shows up. He's like, Mark, what the fuck you doing? You're not supposed to be recording this. And then like Brie Larson is like, Mark, this is supposed to be a secret. You got to turn that off. And he's like, ooh, somebody can get mad at me. Am I supposed to do this? Well, all right, guys, I'll see you later. I love you. And then ends it. He's so crazy.
Just the sarcasm in your face.
Like, watch it. It just is so, like, obviously, like, yeah, they're just going to have somebody, so you're going to be so naive to having been in this world for, like, 5 years now to like, this is supposed to be a secret? They haven't been telling me what I should and shouldn't say for, like, the last 5 years, and I'm just going to go and hop on Facebook Live and just kind of distribute this moment. I'll be like, whoops, whoa. Yeah. It was stupid. It was insulting. Yeah. And I probably shouldn't be insulted by it because it's not that big of a deal. And I like Mark Ruffalo, but I feel insulted. My intelligence has been insulted by Marvel. And I will not stand for it.
Good. When was this? Was this like...
This was like a few days ago. This is still fresh. Still a fresh wound, Garret. Last bit of headlines. Not so much headlines as it is a prediction. We are going to figure out who the new director for Bond 25 is. And it is going to be Denis Villeneuve. He got his acclaim from directing, apparently, what is a masterpiece in Blade Runner 2049. I would put all my money in the hat that he would be directing the next Bond movie. It all sits up, you just had a huge critical and probably financially successful hit, visually stunning. And I know after losing Sam Mendes, like not having Mendes anymore, like he shot some beautiful stuff. Having him go about that would probably be a smart choice. Also, when he was asked about it, he said, I can't talk about that, but let's say for me, doing a Bond movie would be a deep, deep pleasure.
Yeah.
So that's probably what's going to happen. I still have to see Blade Runner 2049,
Same.
which I really want to, especially because as we transition in, we're going to be talking a little bit of Blade Runner 2019, or as it's originally titled, Blade Runner, coming up.
One wise radio, two wise radio, three wise radio.
All right, time for a little BBT. This brief Blade. No. Brief Blade Runner talk. That didn't work out well at all.
Right.
So next time we cover Blade Runner, I'll spice it up a little bit. I'll change things up. But for our BBT, I mean, Blade Runner 2049 is getting amazing reviews. They're saying, I'm hearing the word masterpiece thrown around, really high praise. I have never seen the original Blade Runner.
Oh, you still haven't seen it yet?
No, I watched it.
Oh, okay.
But for the sake of setting up the segment we're about to talk about, I hadn't seen it.
Okay.
Just as you had also never seen it, correct?
Correct.
And we both saw it.
Correct.
The question is, which version did you watch, and which version did I watch?
I watched the final cut.
Okay, I watched the theatrical, the original release.
Okay.
Because I'm a purist. I think that's what I watched. Honestly, who's to say? So maybe we'll have some distinct differences. So just kind of wanted to get some opinions on it, see what you kind of thought about it. I think the biggest thing that I noted, I was always intimidated by watching Blade Runner because I always remember people saying how confusing it was when I was younger. Being like, Blade Runner, oh man, it's deep and it's super confusing. And while I thought it was really good and worked on a lot of different levels, at no point in the movie was I confused whatsoever.
Correct. Same.
I was like, this is really good. And like, I understand the high concepts that it's trying to hit or that it is hitting, but I never felt like it was like trying to work on so many layers that like, oh man, once you watch it for the 5th time, that's when like it really hits you what the movie's really about. Or there were never any confusing moments. So I just wasn't surprised. Like I was almost not stunned, but almost just like let down that I understood things so well. Yeah. It was like I wanted to feel stupider watching this than I did.
Yeah.
And that was my main takeaway.
No, that was definitely mine as well. Because like, I don't know, it's just like I think maybe it has to do with the fact that we have all that information already at our possession. You know,
Maybe.
I feel like that probably like I don't want to say jaded us towards it, but like set us up for it already.
It's possible. I really enjoy there's some things that I really enjoyed about it, and I think I love Ridley Scott's. The biggest thing that I saw a lot of parallels to is the same thing that he did in Alien. I love the way that he does like this really advanced it's called like I can't remember what he coins it as, but it's almost coined as like low tech. Like it's the future, and like we've got spaceships and everything, but the components of them that like make things function are very basic. Like we have very basic computer programs, and like everything's blocky and not extremely sophisticated because it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
So for instance, in the Alien movie, like this was like they were like a wreckage, like a salvage ship. So it wasn't fancy. It was essentially a dump truck, but in space. So like there didn't need to be like these, oh man, everything's bright white and well lit and rounded. It's like, no, it's dungy, and like they got the job done with the minimum amount of money they had to put into it.
Yeah.
And I felt like that happened here a lot too. I mean, there was also a lot of flash and stuff, but I thought they did a really good job of I just love that kind of atmosphere that he puts on his stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was very impressed with that. Mm-hmm. Anything on your end that you enjoyed?
Honestly, one of the two of the things that I enjoyed, one was the lighting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed just
Yeah, it was a key focus.
And just like how it framed up a lot of the shots. It worked on just about every scene, and I loved it a lot. I really did. The other thing, and I know this was a big complaint with critics and stuff when it first came out, but the pacing. I felt like the pacing kind of the pacing combined with the music kind of set up for this odd otherworldly thing. Despite it being Earth, it was still.
It felt a little foreign.
Yeah, and I felt like the pacing had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
So.
I was really in. I found out that I'm not good at taking notes. I tried to start taking some notes for it. First note that I came up with, and it's just the first thing out of like 4 things that I wrote. One was loving Ridley Scott's technological style, which I already talked about. But the big one, first thing, is we're showing, there's flying ships. There's this giant pyramid building. Everything's in the future. There's bright lights displaying everything. And then we zoom in to the office cubicles, and first thing I wrote down, we're still using ceiling fans, huh? Like, there's just giant ceiling fans. Like, okay, so we're in the future. We got flying cars. We got all this shit. We don't have air conditioning, though. Just, nope. Giant circle ceiling fans just because you like that cool effect of, like, the light flickering on and off somebody's face.
Yeah.
That immediately threw me out of it, and it shouldn't have.
But it did.
I shouldn't give the movie a strike for that, but it definitely took me out of it for a second. But then I jumped right back in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. The lighting was really impressive. It was also sometimes it was kind of strange at times. Like, why are things this dark?
Yeah.
And another thing that I thought about that was also like the highlights that they put of like what the wealthy live like, which they didn't depict too much, but you could kind of put it into your own head versus what like essentially what slums are like in the future. Like, we still have all this great technology, like lights that turn on when you get close to them so as they know to register, but they're old and so they're kind of like flickering or whatever. I mean, or what's his last name?
Deckard.
Deckard's lived in a shithole. Yeah. It was really big and there was a nice piano there, but like lights were flickering and barely functioning, and it was cool to see that. It was good to see that too. So those are the big things that I thought. I also thought there was a really cool shot where he was drinking vodka after getting punched in the face, and like some of his blood goes into the vodka. I was like, ooh, artsy.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool shot.
All right.
Pretty cool shot.
Yeah.
How did yours end?
Mine ended with Deckard going back to his apartment, finding Rachel, finding her alive, and then they both run away. As they're running away, Deckard looks down and sees a little origami thing from Gaff. I think his name's Gaff.
Yeah, I believe so.
And he picks it up, looks at it like, oh shit, he was here. He probably could have killed her at any moment. And he crumples it up, puts it in his pocket, and they take the elevator, and as the elevator door shuts, that's how it ends.
But did you see the subtext of that? How did he know about the unicorn that he dreams of?
Yeah, and I don't know.
I mean, that's the whole argument of like, oh, is he a replicant? Like, that's the big question is he a replicant? Mm-hmm. I think Ridley Scott says yes, and I think Harrison Ford says no. Just riff for a minute. I'm gonna look this up.
Well, honestly, I don't remember the unicorn dream. I think I might have been like in the bathroom or something when that scene came on, because I know it's in the cut that I watched, but I don't remember it at all. Like, was it in your cut at all? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just like some really powerful scenes where he's just like kind of sitting there on a piano, and then this unicorn rides out into like the greenery and just kind of like unicorns about.
Was that like earlier on in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a unicorn. It is definitely a horse with a horn taped on its head.
Then I totally missed that then. Okay. That kind of puts into perspective then. Does that give more significance to Gaff's other origamis then?
No, I don't think so. Because I think that's part of it is just like the build of, oh, he just makes random things. It's kind of like the spinning of the top in Inception. Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, this could mean, but it also maybe not. Tick. Yeah, Ford has repeatedly insisted that he is just a regular human being. Pretty sure he just grumpily was like, nah, it's dumb. No, I'm a person. I don't know how to act as a replicant. I'm a human.
That's the point.
Director Ridley Scott is adamant that he is in fact a replicant, an android, a skin job. Screenwriter Hampton Fancher would prefer to leave viewers guessing. So the answer doesn't really give it to you at all. So that's all that is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's
I mean, because like throughout the movie, I started to kind of think that of myself. Is like, what if Deckard's a replicant? But there wasn't really anything other than that small interaction between him and Rachel that really pointed towards that. So I don't know.
okay. Maybe I didn't see it because the dream sequence was only shown as part of the film from 1992 onwards, so I did not see the original release. But it was in the final cut. What you said you saw.
Yeah.
See, this is what's dumb.
There's like 8
There's
different
like
versions.
I believe there's 7 different ones. Like,
Because there's the original theatrical, the international theatrical, which I think had a bit more violence and stuff in it. There's the director's cut, the final cut. There was like one cut that was shown at like Comic-Con or something that was like just shown for them. There was, I don't remember what the other 2 versions were. And then there's apparently like this 8th like 4-hour long version that they showed to the studio execs, and it's like, this is what this movie is.
this is the real Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like, that's where things start to get hokey. Like, you get 2 versions. You get the theatrical cut, and then you get the director's artistic cut. Like, that's like,
Well, apparently in like
stop it.
in the director's cut, like he didn't quite like Ridley Scott didn't have full editorial control. And
That's dumb.
That's why on the final cut, like he has complete control of like, this is how this movie was supposed to be according to me. End of story. Period.
But in another way, not end of story. Next cut for the 50-year anniversary. I'll be dead, but it's still coming out.
Yeah.
That's where I get. I mean, the plot of the movie and like the concept of is he or isn't he is not as confusing as the cuts, as like making up your mind as to what this movie actually is.
Yeah.
I think that it's a good movie, but it's not important enough to merit like this kind of like conceptualizing of what like that many different opinions on how this movie should be portrayed. Mm-hmm. It's a great movie. I really liked it, but it's not important enough to merit this.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get our answer in Blade Runner 2049. I would guess we won't, though.
Who knows?
Because even now they're saying, like, well, it's proven because they made sure that it was stated over and over again, like, the lifespan of these replicants is 4 years.
Yeah.
It is 4 years. But then people just say, well, what if they were lying? It's like, oh, well, fuck off, man. Like, I mean... We're just rewriting all history, and I was like, "Oh, there was a program." Like, if this opens in Blade Runner 2049 opens with like an old man in a bright room, it's like there was a program to beat the 4-year life expectancy. I didn't tell anybody except for one person, Han Solo. Like, I would be very, very upset. But I'm guessing it doesn't. Otherwise,
They'd be like, "Oh, it was all a dream."
Yep. It's just still playing the piano. But no, I'm glad I watched it. If anything, this made me sit down and actually watch this movie, and I'm happy that I did.
Agreed. It was definitely at the beginning of the movie, I wouldn't have guessed how it would have ended up, but I enjoyed how it ended up, you know?
I think it also did a good job of like reminding me of what like action. It's just like this movie was not what I thought. I thought it was going to be more actiony,
Same.
and it wasn't. It was more like almost like intrigue, almost like not spy games, but like thriller.
Kind of like a neo-noir sort of thing.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. I liked it. So it was nice that there was still some mystery as to what was actually going on.
Yeah.
I would say see it. It's really easy to find. Finding the specific version you want is not. But any type of
because I
version.
think the internet, like I said, the international cut had like a little bit more violence in it, that was put into the final cut.
Right.
There's like the TV cut, but that's only if you're watching it on TV.
Of course.
Just find the final cut. Probably, I feel like is going to be your best bet. But that's just me.
It's delicious. It's too delicious. Get out of here. Piquing your interest. Bam.
Alrighty, it's the end of the show, and that means it's piquing your interest time, where we just talk about what's piquing our interest. I'm not going to try and throw this to Sam, because it's my turn anyways.
Yeah.
It's always my turn first. But what's piquing my interest is Inktober. Sam, do you know what Inktober is?
Yeah, it's a special thing where you can get tattoos in October, and it all goes to charity.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
That's a nice, cool thing.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know.
What is it?
So Inktober, I guess I should.
Is what my thing is cooler than what Inktober actually is?
I actually like that. It's really cool though. Inktober is just every year in October. I think it started in like 2009. It's just kind of like a challenge to artists of like, hey, like here's a prompt list for the month. Just do one prompt every day, and you can use only ink in it.
Say it again.
So basically, there's a prompt list that gets released probably around middle of September or something.
Okay.
And then starting October 1st, you draw one prompt from the list up until the end of the month.
Okay.
And so it's just kind of like,
And you've been doing it?
yeah, and I've been doing it. It's just kind of been a learning experience, learning like, okay, like here's stuff I need to focus on more in my art, or like here's something that like I could do better or something like that. So it's been
It's all sketching?
yeah, it's all drawing, or like I know there's been some artists that do like digital illustration that I guess
cool.
counts.
It's just like a creative challenge to like flex your creativity.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it always always produces a lot of really cool results from the various artists that participate. So.
Nice. So what did you draw today?
Today, because I'm trying to push myself to not only just grow as an artist, but also just like not be so self-conscious and self-critical on my art.
Okay.
Is just like, so I'm doing 2 different lists. Today I had to draw a knight and an old sultan. And so yeah.
Major success?
Yeah.
I will have you show me those later.
I will.
Nice.
What about you? What you got today?
Piquing my interest. Apparently, we have discovered not what Supreme Leader Snoke, who he is, because apparently Supreme Leader, I think Snoke, he's not allowed to just be Snoke. He has to be somebody.
Oh God.
Like, but that's going to be saved for not this coming movie, but the next one. However, his power set, which is apparently a thing, has been revealed. And his abilities, he can force choke, use telepathy, and he has telekinesis.
So the Force.
Which is the Force. Right you are, Garrett.
What?
He's a Sith.
Yeah.
I've just never seen that phrased like that. I was like, these are his abilities. Telekinesis. Like, yeah.
Unless he can do something that I've never seen in the Star Wars realm before. Like,
everyone does it. All the Force-sensitive people move things.
yeah.
So this was...
Unless he can, like, teleport or something. Like, I don't give a shit. Create fire out of nowhere. That'd be cool.
Pyrokinesis?
Yeah.
Not only is he a Sith Lord with the power of the Force, but he can also just start fires.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be something worth listing in a power set.
Right, as opposed to just Force.
Yeah.
Like, you could have just said Force sensitive, but that's not dope enough.
God.
So my interest is so piqued as to who the fuck would write that.
Yeah.
What a week.
Well, I suppose that does it for us this week then. Yeah.
And on a high note.
Yep. All right. You can find us on Facebook at 3Wise Media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at 3Wise Radio. You can email us at 3wiseradio@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that. If you just want to say hi, please do that. Shout out to Good, Bad, or Bad, Bad, Movie Versus, and Beyond the Blast Doors. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
3Wise Radio is a production of 3Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.